Good morning, it's Friday, and I'm Roxanne Battle. Thank you so much for tuning in to Kare 11 today.
I'm really happy it's Friday. I'm Brad Woodard filling in for Pat Evans this morning, and here's what's coming up on Kare 11 today. Movie man Jeff Strickler is here to review what's new at the box office, including the new Disney Pixar fish story, Finding Nemo.
And our friend and expert gardener, Mark Hibbert, is back this morning. His top list of to-dos to make sure your garden is growing lovely all through the month of June.
And if you're planning on firing up the grill this weekend, why not throw some kebabs on? Robin from Simon Delivers is here with some simple tips for easy cooking.
And it is time once again for the Edina Art Fair. We'll preview this popular event and hear from one of the bands that will be performing.
That sounds like fun. All that and so much more is coming your way next.
When Kare 11 Today gets underway right now.
This is Kare 11 Today.
Hey, it's a beautiful Friday morning, and we're delighted that you're spending part of it with us. I'm Roxanne Battle.
Are you really delighted?
Yes, I am, because I could be outside, you know, doing all kinds of cool stuff.
Absolutely. Well, I'm delighted to be here, filling for Pat Evans this morning.
How are you, Brad?
I'm doing very well. How could you not be doing well on a beautiful day like this?
You know, it's just that you want to get up early and you want to stay up late to soak up every ounce of sunshine. I know that sounds corny, but that's how I feel.
I'm not sure about the early part, but the late part works.
No, it's really, the early morning is one of the most beautiful times of the day. All the birds and the sun's coming up and there's still dew on the grass.
That's what I hear, yeah. I hear,
no percent
really
experience.
fantastic.
You don't know what you're missing.
Oh, I think I can deal with that.
Well, look what we've got an addition to the set
yeah,
today.
A couple of friends on set with us this morning.
We should name them. Disney sent this over to talk about the new movie Finding Nemo. It's about a little itty bitty fish.
Set them free.
That gets free to fish. That gets lost, and Brad's kind of got some issues there with the fish.
Well, it just seems kind of like a small space, doesn't it?
Living in a fishbowl? I don't know anything.
Our finned friends.
I don't know what that's like, living in a fishbowl.
I'm going to steal this thing as soon as the second's
And what are you going to do? What are you going to do with the two little fishies?
I'm not really sure. Where can you take a fish and set it free? Nice sound effects, by the way.
I don't know. I'm just watching them get whatever food is in there.
I think you should take it home for Jared.
No.
Okay.
No, because see,
we had that discussion.
Yes, because if they're all like belly up and I come in the room, he'll never get over it.
It's a lesson in life.
Yes, it is. Well, that's one we won't be learning anytime soon.
What else do we have going on?
Got a contest we want to tell soccer moms about.
That's right. A Got Milk Mustache thing?
Yes, the Milk Mustache people are looking for a Twin Cities soccer mom to be featured in their next Got Milk ad campaign. And to enter, just stop by the Wyndham Recreation Center in Minneapolis today from 5 to 7 p.m. And you can also enter tomorrow morning at the Coon Rapids Soccer Complex from 10 in the morning to 4 in the afternoon. And there's going to be food and events and giveaways and all that stuff. So for more information, just go online to whymilk.com. They'll be lining up in droves for that.
Yeah.
You like milk, Brad?
You know, I stopped drinking milk the day my mother stopped making me. Not a big milk fan, I'm sorry. I know it's a wonderful, wonderful beverage, just not one of my favorites.
Not your beverage of choice. How about a lemonade?
Well, that's better. Yeah.
With a few other accoutrements, I'm sure.
Exactly. It is summer after all.
Jonathan, where are you?
Hi, Roxanne, Brad. I'm out here.
Hi, you are outside.
She needs your help. She's trying to escape me.
We're talking about summer.
Well, you know what? It feels like summer out here, and this is going to be such a rip-off today because it's so nice out here right now, Roxanne and Brad. I mean, it's wonderful.
Did you say rip-off?
Rip-off.
Because we have to work?
No, because the weather's going to change this afternoon when people are going home from work.
Really?
If we have some viewers in Brainerd right now and they look to the northwest, they can already see the clouds probably thickening up, and that's the beginning.
All right, tell us more.
Nice weather coming back, though, tomorrow. But today, what we're having right now is going to be short-lived. About another 3 hours of the sunshine and warm temperatures, then clouds and higher winds are coming to the area. In fact, let's go to the satellite picture just to show you what's going on right now. Here's a look at the satellite picture in Minnesota right in the middle. See the clouds off to our north? Well, those clouds are moving southeast quickly. They're bringing strong winds. We're going to see our winds really kick up as that cloud line approaches right about probably 1 o'clock this afternoon. Look at some of these wind speeds up in the Red River Valley of northwestern Minnesota and North Dakota. They're already up above 30 miles per hour, and we're going to see some of that here again, probably after about 1 o'clock this afternoon. Our temperatures are quickly rising right now with the sunshine. We'll see our highs somewhere in the mid to upper 70s before 1 p.m., and then temperatures are going to come back down as the clouds move in and probably fall off into the upper 60s by about 6 o'clock tonight. But quite a temperature range across the state today, only in the 60s in northern Minnesota and the 70s here, and there is a risk for a few isolated showers and thunderstorms this afternoon. We don't expect anything severe here, but if you're going to Chicago or Milwaukee today, could be some isolated tornadoes down there. All right, as we get into tomorrow, lighter winds, much nicer, 70 degrees for a high and 73 on Sunday. So it's going to be about 12 hours of not so great weather beginning at 1 this afternoon and continuing through late tonight.
Out and enjoy it while you can.
That's right.
Thank you, Jonathan. The fishtail Finding Nemo hits the big screen this weekend, and tonight might be a good time to see it since the weather's not going to be all that good. It's already smelling of a box office hit. It's the latest Disney Pixar collaboration, the same folks who brought you Toy Stories and Monster, Inc. Movie critic Jeff Strickler is here to review this movie and a few others. How are you?
I'm fine. How about you?
I'm good. So what do you think about the fish in the bowl?
Well, it's kind of ironic because the story involves a small fish that is captured and stuck into an aquarium and tries to escape.
Oh.
So Brad's right. In keeping with the show, we should all sing Born Free and set these goldfish free.
Born Free and Kumbaya.
Kumbaya.
Well, they seem to be getting along swimmingly.
They're very well, and they're reeling in the viewers. So everything is working out great.
This is quite a fish tale.
It is a fish story, and Nemo is quite a fish story because these Pixar people, obviously, their attention to detail is absolutely incredible. It's all computer animation. Let's take a look.
Get back here! I said get back here now! Stop! You take one more move, mister. Don't you dare! If you put one fin on that boat, are you listening to me? Don't touch the boat.
My dad is? Honey.
In fact, there is the fish in the aquarium. Again, you know, great voices. They always do good voice talent. So that was Albert Brooks. We're listening to Ellen DeGeneres is in this. It's just a really great cast. Willem Dafoe is one of the fish in the tank. And production value is absolutely exquisite, Roxanne. I think as an adult, I was a little let down by this. This is, you know, the other Pixar movies have really played well with adults. This is really aimed more for younger kids.
Okay.
It's a simpler story, more simply told, not many jokes in it for the adults.
Right.
Much more aimed at kids.
But you know, kind of like I was reading the Hollywood Reporter, like with Toy Story and A Bug's Life, there are a few little jokes that are way over the kid's head.
Yes.
That are just for the adults, and there's a few of those here.
There are some nice lines like that, but on the whole, I think, you know, Pixar has pushed the envelope, so I think they've pulled back a little bit. I mean, I'm still going to give it 3 stars. I think it's still a very, very good show.
All right.
And I'm going to give it 4 for the kids, because the kids are going to love it, especially the younger kids.
No, you don't give those stars up easily.
We don't.
All right. What else are we talking about this morning? Oh, completely on the other end of the entertainment scale, Italian Job.
The Italian Job is a caper movie, and I like caper movies. And I'll admit I like caper movies, but if you like caper movies, this is an absolutely terrific one.
It's a mean caper movie.
Oh, it's a fun caper movie. Let's take a look.
We have another problem, guys. What? This isn't the Worthington 1000.
What?
He switched safes on us.
Can you do it?
It's Israeli made. It's got a glass relock system. There's a pane of glass right here, behind this door, and if I don't drill perfectly through that hole, the steel rods snap into place. You can't open the safe.
Go.
The story here is that Mark Wahlberg, Charlize Theron, Donald Sutherland, Mos Def, Seth Green steal $35 million in gold, then lose it before they manage to get it home. So they trace it to Los Angeles and have to steal it again. Now we know they're going to make the theft because the real set piece is this car chase we're looking at right here. They've advertised it heavily. It's great fun. They're driving these Mini Coopers, these tiny little
Huge, yeah, those are really popular
which
cars.
not only, you know, defy death-defying trip, but they defy gravity every now and then. They drive up and down stairs and through subway tunnels and through sewer tunnels. And you know what? It's silly, but you know what, Roxanne? They know it's silly, and they're having fun with the silliness, and they're enjoying the silliness, and it's just a really fun show.
You like this
I did like this one, you know, and they're goofy crooks, and yes, they're crooks, and we're rooting for the bad guys, but in this case, it's okay because they're good bad guys. So I'm gonna give this thing.
There is such a thing.
I'm gonna give this thing 3 stars too, and 2 for the kids only because there is a little bit of
You're
violence.
in a really good mood this week.
did.
3 stars in a row. All right, let's talk then about video picks. Highly acclaimed music. Was it 6 Oscars?
Including the director and the actor. We're talking about The Pianist. And a lot of people were surprised when The Pianist beat out Chicago for these high-profile Oscars. But no one argued that this drama didn't deserve them. It was based on a true story about a Jewish musician who used his love for music to survive the horrific conditions in the Warsaw Ghetto. Adrian Brody won the Best Actor Oscar for his portrayal of this quiet but unbending hero. And Roman Polanski, the best director, he knew his material, Roxanne, because he's only 7 years old, but his family took refuge in this very same ghetto. Wow. So he has a personal bond with the story, and it really shows in the forceful storytelling. And if you get the DVD version, there is some archival footage at the end of the real pianist, whose name I'm going to butcher, but it's something like Vladislav Shpilman. And there are some wonderful clips of him, the real guy who inspired the story. And there we're looking at them now. And the movie, of course, is based on his autobiography, and it's just, you know it's a real story, but then when you watch the clips at the end and say, oh my gosh, that's the guy, then it really hits home and everything he went through. And
see, that's my cup of tea right there. You know, I really do like seeing real stories dramatized, so I'll have to pick that one up. You want the fish?
No, my kids would love the fish.
The kids would love the fish?
Oh, would they ever. My 10-year-old, now 11-year-old, excuse me, would go crazy for the fish.
Okay, well, maybe that's a belated birthday present for your 11-year-old. All right, thanks, Jeff.
Thank you.
Brad, I think we got rid of the fish.
Oh, well, that's good. I didn't hear what you said. I hope it's good. I hope you didn't mention the word toilet and flush, but anyway, difficult transition from that to this. But coming up next, tasty kebabs the whole family can enjoy, and get this, they're easy to make. And after that, here's some important tasks to add to your honey-do list to get your garden looking lovely throughout the month of June. And later, it's art fair time in Edina. We'll preview this fun annual event, so stick around.
Thanks for watching Kare 11 Today with Pat Evans and Roxanne Battle.
Let it grow, let it grow.
Everybody wants their garden to flourish, and there are some things you should be doing right now to make certain that happens, especially if you don't have a garden like me. Bachman's horticulturalist Mike Hibbert is here with his to-do list for some top-notch garden tips. How are you this morning, sir?
I'm doing great. What a beautiful day.
Oh, it is a great day, and it's a pleasure to have you as always.
Well, thanks. You know, there's a lot of things to do in the garden. May we plant, June we kind of take care of our yards and properties, and there's a lot of things that we can work on. First of all, let's talk about bulbs. People plant bulbs in the fall. These happen to be daffodils, but we're talking about tulips, daffodils, hyacinths. We need to remove the seed heads before they form on your, happens to be daffodils. So just prune those things off once they go by. And the reason why you want to do that, you don't want them to form seeds. So you want flowers
next year. What happens if they form seeds?
Well, they put all their energy into the seeds and not into the bulbs, so you don't have as many flowers next year.
Oh, okay.
Prune those off when they're gone by, and then fertilize with just an organic fertilizer like this or any other granular bulb food. Sprinkle that around the base, water that in, and that'll give you the energy back into the bulb so you have flowers next year. A lot of times people don't do that, and they wonder why their tulips never bloom after the first year. So,
and how often should you water, or do you just let nature take care of that?
Let nature take its course. If it dries, bulbs like it dry during the summertime, so they're going to be just fine.
Low maintenance.
So get rid of those bulb flowers afterwards. Another big thing to do in June is to prune evergreens. People ask me all the time, when do I prune my evergreens? It's the end of May, first part of June. Now is the time to do that. We've got pines over on this side. Pines are easy to do. This is a Mugo pine. This happens to be a Norway pine. Just take, these are candles that are growing. That's the new growth that's coming on them.
Right.
If you want to prune them, you just break those things off.
Just break it off.
Just break them off. Easy to do.
At the bottom?
Just at the bottom. You can leave about 1/3 to 1/4 of that new growth on the plant. Don't take them all the way off completely, but just leave about 1/4. That'll thicken up the plant. Same with Mugos, just break those things off. If you got a lot to do, you can use something like a grass shear or a pruner. If you have, these are Alberta spruce, if you got those, and you need to shear them up and get them all nice and bushy, take a grass shear like that.
How do you know there's a rule about sharp objects in
just
Brad
be very
on this
careful.
show. Okay.
Just trim those things up, just shape them up. Very simple to do.
This is fun.
You can be very, very aggressive.
Very aggressive?
Yep, and what you go for it. It'll grow back out of it.
There we go.
Not a problem. You know, if you got a lot of plants, a lot of yews, for instance, you take a head shear like that and just trim them back.
Now that's aggressive.
And you're not going to hurt those things one bit. If you do it this time of year, get those things back into shape, get a nice shrub on there. If you've got lilacs, again, after they're done blooming, give them a haircut. Just trim those things back, shape them right back up. People have rhododendrons and azalea, they say, when do you prune? This is the time to do that. All the new growth has come out on there. Just take and pinch out those centers. That'll thicken up your shrub. You got taller stems that are growing out there. Just break those off, even that plant out. Easy to do. This is the time to get that done.
Wish my dad could see this segment. He used to prune every year, and you would come home and the trees would have no branches.
Oh, he was a very vigorous pruner.
Yes.
The other thing to do in June is, you know, you've weeded your gardens, you want to add some mulch. Cypress mulch is a great mulch to use for all your nursery products, your evergreens, shrubs, trees. It stays put. It's there for a couple years. I like this bark fines. These are great for perennials. It just adds a little bit of nice layer to that.
And what is in this?
It's actually ground up fir bark. And you put that down, it keeps the moisture around your perennials, keeps the weeds down, but it doesn't interfere with the perennial's growth or your ability to transplant and move those things. This is actually ground up peanut shells. Again, another great mulch for perennial gardens, roses, things like that.
Okay.
Another thing to do is you plant all these beautiful flowers in May. You need to kind of keep them going. You need fertilizer. Lots of different choices out there in fertilizers. There's a long-term fertilizing. It's called Osmocote. It's one time, put that in, don't have to fertilize again. You can also use a liquid fertilizer, something like that. It's called Mighty Bloom. It produces lots of flowers, lots of fruit. It's a liquid fertilizer.
And how many times do you have to use that?
Well, this you use about twice a month. And again, you do it when you water your pots and containers, so it's very easy to do. A secret that I've found to great gardens is something that's got kelp extract in it. Now, kelp extract isn't really a fertilizer, but it adds minerals and vitamins to your soil, and it really helps your plants thrive.
Never heard of that.
Greens them up. Really kind of a secret to gardeners. So kelp extract. Lawn fertilizers, if you got lots of weeds, weed and feed. Lots of things to do in the garden. Slugs, great product called Sluggo.
Sluggo.
It's a natural product. You can have pets and kids around there, not going to hurt them.
So it is safe. That's good.
Sprinkle that around. Lots and lots of things to do.
All right, lots of things to do on the show, Mike.
Oh, we have to go?
We have to go, man.
All right.
Sorry, Roxanne should be out here. She actually knows something about gardening.
Okay, well, I'm glad to listen anyway.
A pleasure as always. If you want to find out more, Bachman's on Lyndale will be hosting a seminar on just this topic this Saturday at 1:30 p.m. For more information, call 612-861-7711 or go online to bachmans.com. And coming up next, a great opportunity to hear a fabulous band and help in the cure against juvenile diabetes. Roxanne will explain that. Also, Kare 11's Belinda Jensen joins us with some of the hottest new gadgets for enjoying the great outdoors, so stick around. Thanks, Mike.
Yeah.
Coming up in just a few weeks, the Juvenile Diabetes Research Foundation is holding a very big annual fundraiser, and the show is featuring the one and the only Kool and the Gang, who you just heard. Now, Campbell Methune Advertising Agency's chairman, Mr. Bill Dunlap, is going to be honored for a lifetime of community service, and it's our pleasure to have Bill on the show with us this morning.
Nice to see you, Rock.
Thank you for being here, Bill.
Thank you.
This is your night, so to speak. You're going to be getting a pretty big award then.
Well, it's a big night and it's a big occasion. It's really a very wonderful, worthwhile cause, and that's why we're doing it. We have Kool and the Gang. We're expecting about 800 people, and we hope to raise a lot of money
for the Juvenile Diabetes Foundation.
For the Juvenile Diabetes Research Foundation.
Why that particular charity, Bill?
Because of the nature of the disease, the fact that it affects like 14 million Americans. It costs every year in Medicare, we pay $150 billion for the disease, and it's something we're very close to a cure, and I felt it was the most important cause that I could sponsor right now.
You're very busy in the community, CEO of Campbell Methune Advertising Agency. You've done that for quite some time now.
I'm chairman. I've been doing it for 22 years now, which seems like a lifetime.
Right. Under your leadership, the company grew 5-fold.
Yes, it grew 5 times. It shows what luck and timing can do for a man's career, I think.
Speaking of career, I want to take a look at a photograph right now. There's a young man in this picture who's shaking hands with Richard Nixon and Spiro Agnew, and that's you.
That's me. That's me many years ago on the looking at the two gentlemen there. That is right.
That was at the time when you were the youngest assistant postmaster general in the history of the United States.
Yes, I was. At that time, I was 30 years old, and I was trying to tell them how to run the government at that point in time.
There you are with Henry Kissinger.
Yes, right.
And we have another photograph with someone we might recognize.
That's the senior senior George Bush.
When was this taken?
That was taken about 5 years ago when he came out here to Minneapolis, and I saw him at that point in time.
And I know personally, Bill, you're very involved in the community. You sponsor several organizations, or at least support several organizations, and here you are with the former governor of the state of Minnesota and NBA's greatest player, Michael Jordan, at a charity golf outing.
I lost a lot of money to him at that point in time, but it was a good charity. But I'm hoping everybody can come to our event. It's on June 14th at the Hilton, and hope you can be there and be a part of it also. And thank you for having me on the air to do this.
You're
I appreciate
welcome.
you and Kare 11.
I do want to ask you, why so much philanthropy, Bill? You give a lot to a lot of organizations. You spend a lot of your time and resources. Why?
Well, I think that it's I grew up down in Austin, southern Minnesota, in a difficult time in there, and I feel it's just very important to give back what you can take in, and to the fact that I've been successful, I like to give that back to the community, and cause it's what makes me happy. So that's why I do it.
You made your way from Washington to Minnesota.
Yes.
And you stayed.
Yes.
Why?
Because of the weather. The nice weather, and the people, and Campbell Methuen.
Well, Bill Dunlap, it's a pleasure having you on the show this morning. We look forward to your gala. It is open to the public.
Yes, it is.
All right.
And June 14th at the Hilton, and Cool and the gang, and I hope everybody has a good time, and it's a win-win situation
well,
for everybody.
congratulations on a stellar career.
Thank you very much.
All right. The
Thank you.
Imagination Celebration is a benefit for the Juvenile Diabetes Research Foundation, as Bill said. It's happening Saturday, June 14th at the Minneapolis Hilton. Cool and the gang will be performing along with Minnesota Idol finalists. For ticket information, you can call the Juvenile Diabetes Research Foundation. There's a number on your screen, 952-851-0770. Well, stay tuned to Kare 11 today, because there's lots more ahead on the show. Our friend Robin from SimonDelivers.com is out in the backyard cooking up tasty kebabs, and they're easy too. Also ahead, Belinda Jensen has all the gear you'll need for a fabulous camping experience, and the group The Vibro Champs are in our studio to help kick off this weekend's Edina Art Fair. So much to get to when we come back.
Wanna be a friend, bing bang, billy bang, baby let me in. Then I talk it through the thrill. What's for dinner? Simon delivers.
Now the grilling season is here. You may want to expand your menu choices. How about some delicious kebabs this weekend? Robin Scott from SimonDelivers.com is here to tell us more about this really easy to make and fun event for the entire family sometimes,
Super
right?
easy and fun. I get so excited about this project because all you need is some protein. And if you don't like protein, go all vegetables.
Or you could do tofu.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Yes. And today we're using a teriyaki marinade that's pre-made for us. We took a Ziploc bag. We poured our marinade in with some beef chunks, and we could let this sit anywhere from 15 minutes to overnight.
Overnight is preferable, right?
It's preferable unless you're making your own marinade and it has a high level of acidity in it. Sometimes that'll break your meat down, and then you get shredded beef instead of beef chunks. But
And
anyway,
you're also supposed to wash the meat before you
rinse the meat off, pat it dry, season it with salt and pepper, throw it in your marinade, and you're good to go. So you could do this like yesterday and forget about it, and then today when you get home from work, you'd pull out your skewers that were also soaking in water to keep them from igniting on the grill.
That could be fun.
At that point, we're ready to go.
Should also point out that when you start making the kebabs, you should discard this bag, right?
You discard the bag and the marinade that the meat or poultry was in, so you eliminate any pathogen growth. So we have a skewer here. We have some vegetables that are cut up. We have some unmarinated meat. We'll keep it kind of clean, and we'll just brush our marinade on when we grill.
Okay.
So you can skewer alternately with your protein and your vegetables, or maybe you really like vegetables,
Ooh,
so you only
onions.
want a couple of chunks of meat or chicken or whatever on there. Don't forget the fruit. Pineapple grills beautifully. It caramelizes, it gets nice and tender, and it's just real succulent on the grill. So we just build our kebab, and then when we're ready to go to the grill, we would brush our grilling surface with some oil to prevent sticking, and then we're ready to just lay that on the grill and let it go. Now, the word shish kebab is a Turkish term that means skewered roasted meat. They're also referred to sometimes as a brochette,
which is
the French term, or a satay, which are real popular in many local restaurants these days. if your meat was not pre-marinated, let's say you didn't think about it in time, you can always brush your marinade on.
As you're grilling?
Yep, as you're grilling. So we just put this over some medium heat. Chicken chunks that are about an inch and a half by maybe another inch and a half. Those are going to take maybe 7 minutes per side. Your beef, probably more like 7 to 10 minutes per side.
Now, let's say you do this pretty frequently, and you don't like to get splinters.
Sure.
You could get some metal skewers as well,
Metal
right?
skewers, and some of them are very ornate and decorative, and they're kind of fun, and your guests get all excited when they get this beautiful shish kebab on this beautiful skewer.
Look at you moving in on this.
That was a good question about, couldn't you even soak the skewers before you kebab them?
That's what she...
Yep, we soaked them in some water.
Okay.
Or you could soak them right in your marinade mixture too, but that's a little messy.
I want to ask you something. Brad here is a vegetarian.
Okay.
So can we make a real tasty, like, veggie and fruit kebab?
Yes,
yeah?
yes.
Thank you for looking out for me.
I've got your back, Brad.
I'm surprised you didn't put the fish on a skewer.
The fish are well taken care of, though,
Good,
by the
good,
way.
good,
Would I
good.
do that?
We do have some shrimp today. But yeah, one of my favorite combinations is a teriyaki marinade with the pineapple, the green pepper, maybe a red onion just for some color.
Yes.
I love those
Some
flavors
potatoes,
together.
perhaps?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
With the potatoes, you'd want to parboil those first because they probably wouldn't cook quickly enough on the grill. So you just put those in some boiling water for maybe 10 minutes just to get them half cooked. Finish them off on the grill and you're good to go.
That sounds tasty.
Yeah.
You could do that, couldn't you?
Yes. Well, she could come over and help me this weekend.
That's where we're going with all of this.
Thanks so much for being here this morning.
You're welcome. My pleasure, as always.
And for more information, you can, or actually if you want a copy of today's recipe, you can send a self-addressed stamped envelope to the address on your screen. You can also go to Kare 11 online, Kare11.com. Please search under the main dish category. And you'll find everything you need for kebabs at SimonDelivers.com. How does that work?
You go online, www.simondelivers.com, sign up as a user, pick your delivery day, and you're good to go. Although you select your delivery day the first time, you can get an alternate delivery day any week that you'd like, and you receive $10 off of your first delivery.
What a deal. Thanks a lot.
All right, we got kebabs. Now we need birthday cake because it's time for our favorite part of the show, first birthdays.
All right.
First birthday this morning goes out to Bianca Alexis Bryant. She's a very outgoing and lovable little girl and loves to play with children at the child care. Happy birthday, Bianca.
And a big birthday wish goes out to Alec John Lavala. Alec likes to dance, play with his older brothers and sisters, and visit Grandma, and he likes to chase the dog.
Keegan Walton is celebrating his first birthday today. Keegan likes to cuddle with his mom, wrestle with his dad, and flirt with everyone. Happy first birthday, Keegan, and happy birthday to everyone celebrating their birthday today. Well, the unofficial start of summer was last weekend.
That's right, and it feels like it today.
Yes, and all signals are pointing towards the camping season. Kare 11's own Belinda Jensen found some really cool new camping gear that we'd like you to check out.
We're taking a look at some camping gadgets. You know, each and every year they come up with a lot of new items that make your weekend in the woods or your weekend in the backyard a little bit more comfortable and a little bit more fun. We're going to start out talking about pests and how they really affect your weekend in the woods or the backyard. We're talking about mosquitoes and everyone being pretty worried about the West Nile virus. Well, American Technology, Coleman, has come up with the Mosquito Deleto, and it is guaranteed to work. There's two versions, this bigger version that's actually run by propane and the smaller version that's run by battery. And it works on the basis that mosquitoes are attracted by three things: carbon dioxide, body heat, and faint odors emitted by animals and humans. And once again, Coleman came up with this, the Mosquito Deleto. Well, if you're like me, you like gadgets, and they're getting smaller and they're doing more. This is by High Gear, and it is really amazing. It's a chronograph, thermometer, flashlight, alarm clock, compass. Yes, all those in one, and it actually just connects onto your belt with a carabiner. So take this one along. This is good. Well, the next time you go fishing, I have a gadget for you. They have gone too far. A company by the name of SmartCast has come up with a wireless fish finder that you wear on your wrist and a wireless sonar that you attach to your line. You cast it out, it can go 100 feet deep, it works, or 75 feet from the boat, and it actually features a depth finder, a fish ID, and an alarm. So when you're casting out, you can just be checking out the fish and watching them from your wrist. That's pretty cool. We're going to let Ron Scherer check this one out. Well, once you caught the fish, of course, you need somewhere to cook it, and we have found the smallest stove. It is called the Rocket Pocket. It runs on ISOPRO. Here's the burner. It folds up and goes into this little package, and it boils water in 3 minutes. It really works. I think even Chef John would like it. Well, you got to stay hydrated, and in order to do that, you might want to try out one of these Camelbacks. They're pretty cool. It actually holds 2 liters of water. It's really comfortable. It's light. You don't have to carry a water bottle and drop it, and you're able just to put this right in your mouth. And you know what? When you're up on the trail, it doesn't matter how beautiful or pristine or clear that stream looks or that river looks. You don't ever want to drink any water out of any kind of streams unless you purify it. And look at how small purification units have gotten, and actually really easy to use as well. So you want to make sure you carry one of these along with you. Well, last but not least, our last gadget, a personal flotation device, and we have a model. This is Frank Vassalero, my co-host from Kare 11 News Saturday, and of course, Kare 11 News Sunrise. You got it on? How you doing?
It's cool. I'm a little anxious to pull it. I'm really curious to see what will happen. It's an inflatable life vest.
Yeah, personal flotation device, only for adults. Something that you actually have to wear on the boat, but it's very light, very small, great for hot weather. You don't want to, this is nothing you can throw because you actually have to inflate this thing and then reload it.
The cool thing out, it straps on like a regular vest.
Okay.
But what's great about this is that, I mean, it's light and you have full arm motion. You know, sometimes you don't want to wear one because it's so bulky here and it's so bulky here. You have none of that.
That's right.
It's really light.
It's only for adults, and it's not for, you know, water skiing or being on the personal watercraft or anything like that. So you're going to pull the ripcord here and see what happens? We've never done this before, so we're kind of excited.
Are you ready? Do you want to pull it or do you want me to pull it?
You better do it. I'm going to back off,
ready?
okay? All right, ready?
Yeah, thanks. 1, 2, 3. I mean, 1, 2, 3.
Look at that.
Cool.
And then once it inflates, you got that bright yellow. Ooh, it's cold. You got a whistle. We like it.
Wasn't as bad as I thought, thanks.
That's right, from Suspenders, our last gadget. Well, we've only nicked the tip of the iceberg when it comes to gadgets. There's so many out there. We want to thank Lisa Schmidt from Gander Mountain for gathering all these for us. So go and check those out. But remember, when you're out on that hike, only take the memories, do a tick check, and enjoy your camping experience. I'm Belinda Jensen.
Some pretty cool gadgets.
Yeah.
You like the compass.
I did like that. I think my dad, he's a gadget, you know, nut. It had all the little things on there.
It can also help finding your way home on Saturday nights,
Finding
too.
home on Saturday nights.
Hey, if you want to see Minnesota Bound, you can check it out right here on Kare 11 every Saturday evening at 6:30 p.m. and then again at Sunday nights at 10:30 p.m.
Coming up next on Kare 11 today, stars like Don Rickles and Sharon Stone are hitting the airwaves to help raise awareness about strokes. We're going to talk to a doctor and stroke survivor about what you need to know coming up next. And then later, a preview of this weekend's 37th annual Edina Art Fair. We'll be right back.
There's something you should know about me. I believe in equality, regardless of race, gender, or age. If you have no voice, I am there. If you cannot stand, I am there. If you are lost or confused, I am there. I am there to hurt, paralyze, or kill. I am a stroke.
Heightening awareness is the whole idea behind the American Stroke Association's latest ad campaign, and there is good reason for the concern. Every 45 seconds, someone in America suffers from a stroke, and it is the #3 killer of people in this country. And Dr. Irfan Altafallah and stroke survivor Patrick O'Gorman are here to talk about the early warning signs and what you can do to prevent a stroke. Good morning to you, gentlemen. Thank you so much for being here. The #3 killer, I had no idea. And when you think of stroke, you normally think of older Americans, but you're saying that when you're 38 years old, you should start thinking about the possibility that you're nearing the high-risk group, correct?
Right. Well, actually, the high risk begins at age 50, but as Patrick's case shows, nobody's really exempt from stroke. 1/3 of all strokes occur below the age of 65. That's quite a lot of strokes if you think about the number of patients.
And Patrick, you had a stroke when you were 34 years of age.
Exactly, yeah.
Not the kind of thing you expect to happen when you're 34.
No, not at all. It was a surprise to me as well.
Well, tell me what happened.
Yeah, I was sitting in my office and I was talking to one of my customers, and suddenly I was unable to speak. Then I felt my right arm sort of get numb, and I couldn't move it. My right leg got numb, and I didn't know what a stroke was really, and I just sat there kind of wondering what I was going to do next to try and get out of there.
Okay, well, doctor, why don't we talk about some of the warning signs? Let's, sudden numbness, you mentioned, a weakness in the face, numbness in the limbs, correct?
Yes, the primary symptoms of stroke are weakness or numbness affecting one side or the other of the body. inability to speak or to comprehend speech.
Confusion?
Confusion sometimes, and sometimes when you can't speak properly, people think you're confused when in essence you're having a difficulty with communication. A severe headache can be a sign of stroke, especially if you're not used to having headaches. Double vision, loss of balance, and sometimes in combination.
And sometimes difficulty in walking and whatnot.
Correct.
Who is most at risk? Smokers, obviously, women who smoke?
Well, there are a number of risk factors. The number one risk factor is high blood pressure. Smoking, as you mentioned, having diabetes, having high cholesterol, being obese, being physically inactive, drinking too much alcohol, all of these, and using certain types of drugs can all be risk factors for stroke.
Okay, and let's say that you recognize the symptoms and you think you are having a stroke. Is there anything you can do to increase your chances of surviving this?
Yes. The most important thing is to recognize the symptoms and to call for help right away. Dial 911. Many people wait thinking that the symptoms will pass, and then there is a window of opportunity during which time we can use certain drugs, as Patrick's case exemplifies, to reverse the effects of stroke. Unfortunately, most people with stroke don't get to the hospital in time. We have only about 3 hours during which time we can do something for patients with stroke. So recognizing the symptoms, recognizing the urgency, and getting to a hospital in time are very important factors.
Okay, and again, let's talk about some of the symptoms so people will recognize them if they actually happen to them. You have sudden weakness of the face, arm, or leg, sudden confusion, trouble speaking or understanding, sudden trouble in seeing in one or both eyes, sudden trouble walking, dizziness, loss of balance or coordination, sudden severe headache with no known cause. And again, if you're in one of the high-risk categories, the best thing you can do is try and prevent this from happening. So if you smoke, if you drink excessively, any other advice?
Well, as I said, controlling high blood pressure would be very important. Maintaining a healthy lifestyle with diet and exercise are things that people can do for themselves. And of course, managing their cholesterol and watching what they eat.
Okay, gentlemen, thank you so much for being with us this morning. We appreciate it.
Thank
it's nice
you.
to have you here. And for more information on strokes, you can call toll-free at 1-888-4STROKE or check out strokeassociation.org. Well, don't go away. We'll have a musical preview of the 37th Annual Edina Art Fair, which is going on right now.
Why don't you love me like you say you do? Well, I'll just mess around. I ain't no good for you. Don't you cry.
The Twin Cities' first big art fair of the season is off and running. The 37th annual Edina Art Fair is taking place in the heart of that city's 50th and France business district. And Jenny Moquist is here along with some of the star musical attractions, the Vibro Champs you've been hearing throughout the show. They're going to play in a minute. Good morning, Jenny.
Good morning,
How
Roxanne.
are you?
I'm great. Nice to see you.
Nice ring.
Thank you very much. This is from the Jerry Kaplan Jewelry Collection.
Yeah?
It's a especially cool ring because this topaz piece actually screws right off.
Let me see.
There's 3 other stones, like garnet,
Okay,
diamond,
is everybody at home watching?
things.
Look at okay. You know what I would be concerned about with this ring? I'd lose it. I wouldn't screw it in tight. And it's got 3 interchangeable stones.
Yeah, it's a great ring.
And this is a sampling of what you can find at the art fair.
Yeah.
No black velvet
No
prints.
black velvet prints.
Okay, good.
It is a fine art fair. It's a juried art fair, local artists and national artists.
Speaking of black velvet, look what's on the carpet here.
I guess we do have some black velvet.
But not for sale.
Not for sale.
Display
Yes,
only.
display only. Here's some other pieces from Jerry Kaplan. Quartz, amethyst, beautiful garnet rings, the matching silver choker for this silver.
Oh, you've got that nice, this is a nice little dangly bracelet here. That's pretty. And you have the matching bracelet on your arm.
Yes, I certainly do.
Okay, and then, you know, one thing about the art fair, it's the unusual, it's the different, and you're interfacing with the creators of these art
That's
pieces,
right.
the
It's
artists
great.
themselves.
And the prices are terrific, obviously, because they're just coming out of their studios and setting up at 50th and France.
And one-of-a-kind pieces.
All one of a kind.
Such as what we have here.
Yes, this piece is by Laura Leonard. I believe it's called Goddess of Love and Laundry.
I wish everybody at home could see that this Goddess of Love and Laundry, that's an interesting combination.
Took her 9 months.
9 months
to create that.
Beads. They're all those teeny, itty-bitty little beads. I don't know if you can see that at home, but it's all beaded.
Her stuff has been featured all over the state and nationally
Goddess
also.
of Love. Oh, look, she's got a little munchkin hanging on her back here. This is really cool. Look at the kid on the back.
Pretty cute.
All right, let's talk about this.
Okay, this is Blown Glass by Andrew Shea. He has beautiful, beautiful stuff. This is a perfume bottle with a stopper.
Look, here we go.
His stuff is absolutely gorgeous, very exquisite. He's a great talent, and so in just an hour you can see this on display in Andrew's booth.
$1,200 for this if you like.
Yeah.
And then what do we have here?
This piece is actually, this is done by Paul Olson. It's called Together. He was inspired to make this piece after 9/11. Kind of rising to the heavens.
I like that.
It's made out of bubinga wood. Bubinga wood from Africa. And it's a beautiful piece. Paul has been at the show for the past several years, does very well.
Set that on a pedestal in the corner somewhere.
Yep.
Yeah, lovely.
Lit. How much? Oh, that is, I think it's about $300.
Okay.
So it's very well priced. Paul's stuff is very well priced.
Okay, before we go to the bank, because the Vibro champs are chomping at the bit to play some music, this print here we have here.
This is a framed batik by Marnie Dahl. Also very well priced. Everything is original. And so we have sculpture, wearables, jewelry, great food, great wine, great beer. That's new this year. We closed down 50th Street, so there's a lot more room to move around this year.
And there's an avenue, a art avenue or something.
There is, Craft Avenue this year.
Craft Avenue.
Between France and 49.5 Street. Those are where the crafters are this year, and the all rest is fine art.
Like a great time. You did a great job.
Well,
Love your
thank you.
Joel Ray.
I determined I had to keep it.
The Adina Art Fair, as Jenny said, starts today and runs through Sunday. The fair is centered around the 15th in France. There will be live performances throughout the day. And the Vibro Champs will be performing Saturday from 4:30 p.m. For more information, go online to 50thinfrance.com. Here they are, the Vibro Champs.
Would you leave if I cried? Well, I'm sorry I told you goodbye. For if you ever leave me, I would lay down my soul and die. Broken heart. Well, I'm sorry I've broken your heart. Broken heart in so many parts. But oh, my soul. Don't you know that I care? And I need your loving so. Don't you know that I love you? And I'll never let you go. Broken heart. Well, I'm sorry I've broken your heart. Broken heart in so many parts. Well, oh, my soul. Well, oh, my soul. Well, oh, my soul.
It's sunny now, but look for increasing clouds and winds just after the noon hour, along with a chance for some isolated showers and thunderstorms between 1 and 7 p.m. Also, highs in the mid to upper 70s around the noon hour. I'm not a weatherman.
It's going to rain tonight.
And it's going to get cooler around 6 o'clock.
Mayor T. Ryback's on the show on Monday. We'll see you. Have a great weekend.